thank you all for coming tonight, for taking your Tuesday night here during the week. We're really excited to be here at the Colfax Ale Cellar, where maybe a Tuesday night's not such a hopping night here, and we've made it hopping, and we want to thank our sponsors. So thank you for having us. And then we have our presenters tonight. So you did the mixing mingle part, which is the first 30 minutes. And then we're going to have Patricia Duran is going to speak. Then I'll be speaking a little bit. And then Cynthia Molina will be speaking for a little bit. We're just going to go ahead and get started with a few questions. How many here have actually run an AI query? Okay, only about 4 or 5 people? Wow. Okay. And for those who did you use it for personal reasons or business/professional reasons? Both? Okay. All right. That's interesting. Who here has serious concerns about AI? Okay, only about half. Okay. What's this? You're like, I don't want to let the evil overlord know that I'm scared of it. Yes, so Cynthia will tell you how to talk to the AI so it doesn't want to kill you in about 20 years, okay? It's got to stay on its good side. All right, well, that's great. All right, so again, Patricia's going to go ahead and start here, so I'm going to switch the presentation over, and I'm going to let her do the talking. So just give me a second here. Okay. All right, do you want me to do it, or can you do it?
No, I could do it. All right. Hi, I'm Patricia Duran. I am the Executive Director for the Center for Community Innovation here in Raton. We do a bunch of things. We do workforce development, but one of the big things you might know us as is we run the Explore Raton website, social media. We work alongside the city, and so we have that contract with our lodgers tax where we do that. So just a few things that we're going to cover is I just want to cover briefly what we're doing to promote Raton and Colfax County. And then we're also going to talk about AI and why you should be online as a business or just a regular person on the internet, whether you have Facebook or not. I'm going to talk to you guys why this is very important. So a few things. If you are a business, I encourage you to take a picture specifically for our target market. These are the people who are more likely to spend money or do business in Raton. These are the current demographics that we are targeting. Those specifically in bold, that's where we get the most bang for our buck, return on our investment. So if we're pushing a Google ad out, I can guarantee you we're getting the most from California and from Texas, actually. So reason being, I'll tell you why, is people are looking for an affordable destination where they don't have to spend hundreds of dollars. Kind of the thing that we keep pushing is that Raton is affordable, and it has the mountains of Colorado, but without the cost. So what we're seeing is a lot of people, specifically from California, even Colorado and Texas, who are coming to New Mexico to spend money because they have young families and because they're excited, because they want to hike, they want to do fun things. They also want an authentic experience. So, but we do lots of things. We work with magazines, get ads out. Recently, for the last 2 years, I apologize, I have been working with New Mexico True on the New Mexico True Co-op grant. So we're starting to get our name out there with New Mexico True branded content. Lots of fun things happening. We also do the visitor's guide for Raton, so we put one out every year. If you want to buy an ad, this is my little ad plug. I have visitor's guide rate sheets right there, so if you guys want to pick one up, you're interested in purchasing an ad, look through that over. We could talk after, okay? Another thing that we are working on, so I just want to show you some pretty stuff. It is our job to make sure the brand is cohesive. It is our job to promote Raton as the destination to go to. We have lots of things. We have history at high altitudes. We are your path to adventures. Lots of great branded stuff. We work with television ads all the way from Facebook, all the way to Google ads. Also, we this last year, we worked with social media influencers that we hired with New Mexico True. So we did lots of fun stuff. We got the word out, and it's just from that, from social media influencers alone, I cannot tell you the return on investment that we've had. It's been phenomenal. We're having lots of people wanting just to stop here, just to have a drink, even if they're passing between Albuquerque or going to Denver. Lots of cool stuff. Recently, and I'm very proud to say this, we recently acquired a contract with Colfax County to run the Wild Divide, which is Colfax County's tourism brand. So we have been working on this for a couple years with the county, and we finally rolled it out. And so if you guys can look it up online, start following, I encourage you. It's really fun. So pretty much the same premise, but obviously for Colfax County. It is our job to promote this area. So please look it up. Our website's thewilddivide.com, and you can find us on social media as well. Okay, the fun stuff. Being online and AI. So many things. I'm going to tell you why you need to get online today. Whether it's social, I'm going to tell you, you can get a website. That's great if you want to get a website. Obviously, that costs, but I'm going to give you a free way to get online. So I'm going to promote social media and Google, okay? You should get online today, whether you're a business or just a regular person, because it makes you more credible. People trust what is online because you're easily accessible. They can find out what time you're open. They can find out what you're selling. They can find out if you hate someone down the block. So any chance that you can be online, even if it's very minimal, I encourage you to do that. Also, you have an opportunity to reach different customers. If you don't know by now, TikTok may seem crazy, but that is where all those little Gen Zers are. That's where you can find that young demographic. That is where they are at. So if you want to reach a young demographic, you're going to have to figure out different social media platforms. I can tell you right now, from the ages of 30 to, I believe, 65, most of that demographic is on Facebook. So lots of cool things. So you can market to different people through different platforms. Last but not least, you need to be online today, because if you do not figure out how to use your cell phone, any social media, it changes like that. I could tell you right now, in 6 months, things will not look the same. And so if you don't get online, you're going to be a year behind if you don't do anything for a month, I'm telling you. It could feel like you're 10 years behind. And this is becoming more and more true now that AI is in our landscape and in our media sphere. Last but not least, you control your brand. This is super important because you are your company, your business, your organization's best public relations specialist. You're the only one that can market your business. If you know your business inside and out, you have a specific voice, you have a specific calling. It is only you that can market it. And you have full control over the perception of your business online. If you get a bad review, you can fix it. You can comment, oh, this person is a liar. You can remove it. If somebody else says, hey, I didn't get, so-and-so didn't send me a visitor's guide, you can say, oh, actually, I could get on it for you. You are basically quality assurance, okay? So I encourage you to do that, because if not, you're going to leave it up to everyone else on the internet to do that, okay? All right, why AI matters. Oh, Lord. There's so many things. Right now, people are using AI for a bunch of different things. They're using it for personal and business. They're using it to plan trips now. You can type in almost in any place, hey, I need a flight to Aruba. I also need things for kids to do. I also need a hotel. I also need a car to rent. You could type that all into an AI query, and it's going to start populating some things. And so people are using AI even to look up your business, believe it or not. So if you are not online, this is my big warning. AI is going to query and comb through what you have online. So if you have not updated your Google business listing in 10 years and you only have one bad review, even though you might be a phenomenal business, you have that one bad review, guess what? ChatGPT, Google Gemini, all of them are going to query it and pull that up and say, hey, this business is terrible. Don't go there. Case in point, last year I went to a conference, and they were utilizing AI to talk about, to plan a trip to Santa Fe. We typed it into Santa Fe, and it said, do not go to Santa Fe. It is dangerous. And we asked AI, why? Well, they said, because there was a shooting at a high school. Well, something that I need you guys to know is AI is not always accurate. It has a B+ rating. You need a person to be able to comb through this stuff. So what ChatGPT was doing was that it was querying the most recent thing that happened at Santa Fe High School in Texas, where there was a shooting. And so it's going to comb through these things. It's not very smart. It's just going to go by keywords. If you think about AI, if you ask it to make pancakes, it can give you some sort of detailed step. But as a human being, we know how to make pancakes. We know we got to get the bowl out. We know we got to go shopping for pancake mix. We know we got to get a measuring cup to measure the water. AI is not that smart. It'll miss a couple things between here and there. It'll maybe say, you don't need a bowl to mix. You might need a plate. So it's not that smart, but it's on the way to change travel. It's on the way to change how we even stay relevant online. Couple things. I learned a few things. In Santa Fe last week, I attended a New Mexico Trends conference. ChatGPT has a partnership with Reddit and Yelp. So what's going to happen when and anyone's trying to figure out your business on ChatGPT, hey, I want to know about Colfax Ale Cellar. If you have not updated your reviews, it's going to come through your reviews. AI uses text as data. It's not going to use pictures as data. It's going to use specifically text. So it's going to go through reviews with actual words, and it's going to go through things like Reddit. There's a bunch of different funky stuff going on right now, but if you're not on Reddit, don't worry about it. Okay, it's not a big deal. But I'm just telling you that places like Google, places like OpenAI, they are partnering with social media conglomerates like Meta to basically data mine for text. They want authentic text so that they can start populating some search queries for you guys. So depending on whose partnership is where, it's going to populate different stuff. Is this making sense? I know it's crazy. Okay, last but not least, or a couple. When you get online, I want you guys to use specific and unique keywords. In Raton, and I'll show you why, we have a term called deer selfies. We use this in all of our advertising campaigns. Raton is your pass to deer selfies. We get lots of pictures of deer here. And so this is a term that we have coined. You cannot find it anywhere else on the internet. You're only going to find it on Explore Raton. Finally, there's something new coming out, and this is kind of scary. So if you are actively using AI right now, and you're using it for work, and you're using it for content to write articles or social media posts, AI now has created an algorithm, whether it's ChatGPT or Gemini, to see if the content was written using AI. So for instance, what it's kind of doing is saying every 10th consonant is a O, every, third letter is a T. They just have these crazy algorithms. So what they're predicting right now, and I say they, I'm saying lots of big gurus that I don't know, but they know more than me. They're saying that this can potentially flag things that you use from AI if you don't know how to edit it, and it's going to push content lower. So if you write an article and you use only AI and you don't edit it, then what it's going to do is when somebody types in your specific keyword and you want them to go to your article on Google, Google's probably going to push it to the second or the third page because it's considered inauthentic because AI wrote it. And that's kind of scary. That's not to deter you from using it, but just keep that in mind. Things are changing. All right, a few things. Specific keywords. The only place that you can find the Dry Cimarron History Tour is here. So it's going to populate anything that has to do with the Dry Cimarron History Tour. And so this is really unique. Nowhere else in the world has this. The thing that pops up on Google is our TikTok from Explore Raton that we did last year. So really cool stuff. Also, and it's the most recent, by the way. I actually did this presentation last May. Something important I want you guys to consider. So there's something crazy going on between Google and OpenAI, which owns ChatGPT. So the person who designed the iPhone, not Steve Jobs, the actual engineer who designed this to make it work, he was working at Google. Well, OpenAI has a problem with ChatGPT. You can't monetize ChatGPT right now. Google is really good at monetizing things. You can people can buy ads, sell ads on Google. Well, so they call up the Apple guy who does the phone, OpenAI does, and says, hey, can you come work for us and help us figure out how to monetize ChatGPT? He says, sure, I'll come over. 3 months go by, and he goes back to Google. I don't know why. There's a lot of speculation to why. But the minute he goes back to Google, what pops up whenever we Google something right now is a whole AI overview. And it's because I think a lot of people speculate it's because this is what he was supposed to create on ChatGPT. And instead, Google's using it. Now we have links to go to specific areas. And I've been told that this little column right here is going to eventually become people that buy ads with AI. And they want AI or the AI query to show up first. So lots of different things. I just put, this is my query. I said, how to travel to North Korea. It was just something I typed in for fun. We're not going to go there, okay? Now, when you type in how to go to North Korea, there are no links. There's nothing for you to click on. It's just strictly information. Does that make sense? So, unofficially, I'm going to say this. The powers that be in advertising had told me AI might change the way we browse in the future. In 6 months to a year, we might see some different things popping up. Maybe even Google browsers, Bing might be obsolete soon. They don't know yet because with Google, something happened really funky in November. Usership for Google went down for the first time since it's been open, but then it went back up in December when little iPhone guy moved back to Google. So we're not sure, but there are a lot of, like I said, unofficial reports that things might be changing with AI. We may not even be using google.com anymore. So just keep that in mind. Kind of scary, kind of not. Once again, dear selfies. When I plugged this into an AI generator, the keywords dear selfies, it popped up these pictures that we use, and it combined them over here to form a little artwork. I don't know if you guys could see it, but there's like a little white spot at the left bottom corner. That was actually a watermark from a photographer who took one of these pictures. So AI is going to query what is the most recent specific keywords. It's going to create things. So that's kind of cool. When AI, if you don't, actually, I have a question. Who knows when AI began? Yeah, when it began. Google. When did AI begin? Okay, it's gonna you're getting closer. I'm gonna shock you. 1956. And there were 2 winters. The first time that AI was used between 1956 was the early 2000s when Google hit. Then it went through a winter again up until 2021. Lots of cool stuff. So when 2021, 22 happened, I started messing around with AI. I plugged in Raton keywords, the Yankee Mine, the International Santa Fe Trail Balloon Rally. This is actually Papa's Sweet Shop. This is what it created. Downtown Raton, the Raton sign, Cimarron Palisades, the Southwest Amtrak, Goat Hill, Capulan, Sopapillas. I just plugged in things to see what it popped up. And this is what it popped up in 2022. So it's getting smart. It's not that smart. When you use AI, once again, another warning. I had an intern about a month ago who was writing an article about places to eat in Raton. I started editing it, and it said, you need to go eat at the Raton Hungry Food Pantry because it's the best place to eat in town. And I was like, what? I said, and I told my intern, did you write this with ChatGPT or something? And he said, yeah, I did. I'm like, I could tell, because why are we sending tourists to the Raton Hungry Food Pantry when that's a social service? And so the same thing is happening. If you haven't noticed, AI uses the same phrases, same keywords. It uses hidden gems a lot, please don't use that. It uses a lot of run-on sentences, and it also uses the same sentences. So specifically, Microsoft published this and got in trouble. They told people to go eat at the Ottawa Food Bank for a tourist article. So AI, it's not all there. The I. This is something that is popping up right now on website builders. This is Wix. Right now, I use it for Explore Raton. I can describe an image, and it will make and populate things. I just wanted a bowl of green chili. I couldn't find anything remotely close to an authentic green chili bowl. These were all made with AI. For some reason, there's carrots in here and peas. There's whole chilies, and I don't know what that is. Anyway, but it's not as smart as you would think it is. But okay, just a couple more things. ChatGPT, I asked it where to eat at in Raton as a tourist visiting. ChatGPT populated a bunch of junk that doesn't exist. None of it exists. If it does, well, the Raton Country Club, but who's going to eat at the Raton Country Club? It's the #1 place. Google Gemini, once again, think about the fancy schmancy person. Google Gemini figured this out. These are actual places in Raton to eat. And what's super duper cool about Google Gemini is there are links. So it specifically tells you where to go, and all of these things that populated, it's because they're online. Los Chonkies is online. The Ice House, it populated the Ice House. Ice House doesn't exist anymore, but it populated it because, and this is just a theory, is because this was an article written on Our Raton Media Works website, and Our Raton Media Works updates their website every week. So these are everything that popped up, but there's an issue once again with AI. I typed this in again. I typed a different way, where to eat at in Raton as a visitor. So what are the best places in Raton to eat as a tourist? And it popped up the same stuff again. So you have to tell AI, can you populate different things? Can you show me different restaurants, okay? So like I said, it's not that smart. Okay, this is my last slide, and then I'm done. What you can do, get online, whether it's free. If you just want to update your customers once a week, once a day, just say, hey, we're open. Hey, we might be closing early. Doesn't have to be fancy. Doesn't have to be crazy. People just want to see that you're active online to prove that you're an actual business, okay? Last but not least, make authentic content. Specific keywords and phrases really matter, okay? Also, comb through your reviews. If you have a Yelp account, once again, you haven't touched in 5 years, go to your Yelp account and clear out any bad reviews. And ask your customers to review your business. One last thing I will add to this little part is, if you're just a regular person, please post nice content about Raton. No one wants to hear that you hate the lady down the street because she doesn't walk her dogs right, okay? Because AI is going to query that, I can guarantee you. I have put some things in a ChatGPT in Gemini, very specific things, and it will query the drama that happens on Facebook. It happens. So just telling you guys, be very careful. Last but not least, try to use your captions, try to use your descriptions. If you're building a website, use SEO. If you're using Instagram, make sure you use the in-app video images editors where you can add captions onto your reels. Reason being is because if you design something outside of Facebook now, a specific picture, it's going to be hard to read the picture even if it has words on it. AI wants to use actual text, not pictures, okay? That's all I have. Thank you for your time.
All right. Thank you, Patricia. So that was a lot of great information about content and AI and how you should use it in your business. Let's see here. We're going to go. So now I'm going to talk a little bit about Placer.ai. Has anybody used or know what Placer.ai is? No? Okay. So really, Placer.ai is now, instead of using the content as AI is doing, what Placer is doing is actually using the actual device that you have. So all of us I assume almost everybody here has a cell phone. There's a lot of things that you agree to having a cell phone. And there are like 500 different apps that Placer tracks data on. So, you know, it's scary, it's happening, but it's kind of just right now part of having a cell phone. It's kind of hard to get away from it. So what you need to do is utilize the power of that information to help you and your business and our community. So you can see this. So the city has an account here, so we can actually. It's not. There is some free information. There's a level of information you can get. Otherwise, you have to pay for an account. And so this is the city's account, and basically, I can go in here and do queries on anybody's business here and see all kinds of information about your customers. Which you can use then to learn more about how you can grow your business, okay? Like, where is my business, where's other people going rather than my business? You can see your competitors, all these different things. So I'm just gonna walk through a couple of the key features of it. And I guess I'm gonna say this at the end again, but just to let everybody know why we're doing all of this is we wanna help you. We are the economic development partners. And so anybody here that has a business, is thinking about starting a business, needs help with their business, whatever, we're here to help you with that. So any of these things that we're showing you, we're happy to just do a personal assessment for you and your business or your business concept for any of the things that we're talking about here tonight. So I just want you to know. So if you walk away tonight and feel like, oh God, I didn't totally get that, or I don't know how to apply that to my business, just email me, contact us, and we'll set up a meeting with all three of us, two of us, one of us, whatever information you need, we will help you with. So I just want to make sure everyone feels assured in that information. So Placer's, best features really revolve around providing actionable location intelligence that help business understand customer behavior, optimize location, gain competitive edge. And so here's going to be a breakdown of some of those things. So first of all, our busiest business in Raton, fast food, all right? King of Clayton Road over there is McDonald's. It is the busiest McDonald's between Dallas and Denver, okay? We get a lot of, this is huge for Raton. Trinidad does not get this kind of business at their McDonald's, okay? So a couple things to pay attention. Foot traffic and analysis, visitation measurements, visitor panel visits, and trends. So I just want to point out a few things. So here, this is for a whole year. This is 2024 right now. So visits, so 654,000 visits. And then we have here visitors. So this is unique visitors, and then this is repeat customers. Here's the frequency, so you can see that's 2.4 times, so that pretty much equates. And then panel visits. So this is basically a way, so panel visits means actual phones or devices that are tracking things. And so this is what they use. This is how many devices they tracked, unique devices they tracked over the year. And through that and through certain algorithms, they basically can calculate for this type of business, this is how many people were actually there, okay? So that might help you feel a little more assured in terms of like not every single person is being totally tracked, but those are the panel visits, okay? And then here, visit trends, something. So this is the whole year, and you can see, okay, what do you think this is right here? Yep, exactly. So this is the balloon rally, right? So you can see that we get huge traffic. That means there's a lot of people coming into Raton here. And then also here and here, right? Thanksgiving and Christmas. So what about here? Yeah, Gate City, so this is Labor Day weekend. So you can see these are key moments here. This is something we need to capture. We already have an increased amount of people coming. We need to capitalize, double down on that. If we get more people coming here, people are stopping in from the highway. Whatever you're doing as a business, you need to double down on what you're doing and get more people into your business or figure out a promotion to get them into your business. All right, so here is another view. So this is Sonic. Again, we're on, fast food row here. Sonic Drive-In. This is a comparison between the Trinidad Sonic and the Raton Sonic. So also, Raton beats Trinidad also in this fast food branch. I thought it was really going to be just McDonald's, but also the Sonic as well. So again, just looking at the number of visitors, looking at their duration and frequency. So when you're seeing frequency, they're probably local people. So who has more local people that visit, right? Where is it? Right here, frequency. So Trinidad, they have more frequent visitors to their Sonic than we do, by a little. But people dwell at our Sonic a little longer than in Trinidad. So just, interesting things to notice. This is something that's really important. Visits year over year. Now, it looks like Trinidad Sonic is gaining traction, right? So we're only growing a little bit here. They're growing by 20% a year. That's huge, okay? So thinking, if I were the owner of Sonic, and by the way, I picked these because I figured that no one from those businesses would be here, so I wasn't picking on anybody's business, unless anybody from Sonic is here and wants to hurt me for this. But yeah, so I would think about that if I was the owner of Sonic. How could I get more people to be coming here instead of the Trinidad Sonic, right? What could I do? And I don't know. Maybe does anybody know? Are they the same franchise owners? They're different. Okay. So here's another one. Again, I don't know. Hopefully, no one from the laundry businesses are here. But again, wanting to look at not only the visits year over year, but also now the visitor journey on this one. So we can see here, so this is the Raton one. I don't know if you guys can see these numbers. It's kind of small. 6,000 people, 6.2K. I think that's a 2. And then 20.2 here, right? So huge difference, almost triple, right? A lot. Now look at this. So you can also look at this visitor route. So check this out. So this green, so red is 6,000 to 12,000, 2,000 to 6,000, 700 to 2,000, 200 to 700. So that green. So look at, there's between 200 and 700 people driving all the way to Trinidad just to do their laundry at this one place. So again, if I was a laundry mat here in Raton, I would be trying to figure out how to recapture that market, right? They could change their business by preventing these people from going to Trinidad. And I'm sorry, I know there's Trinidad people here. I'm not trying to pick on you, but just trying to show how you can utilize this to look at your competitors. So if you're either starting a new business and you're like, is this a good market to be in? How many competitors do I have? Where are people driving from? Where should my business be? All of those questions can be answered by looking at this kind of data and where people are, coming and going. Another thing you can actually look at, which I didn't actually take a slide of, is you can look at where people are coming and going after and before your business. Okay, so you could say, oh, wow, 50% of the people are going to Walmart first, and then they're going to the laundromat. Or they're going to Sonic, and then they're going to the laundromat, and then they're going back to Sonic, or whatever. So you can see that information. So what do you think that would be good information to know for your business? Exactly. Advertise or partnerships, right? You're like, geez, a whole lot of my customers are coming to your business right before or right after. Maybe we could have some kind of a partnership, and we could, advertise for free in each other's businesses, or have, materials, or set up a deal. Like if, hey, you get 10% off if you go to Sonic, and then you go to the laundromat after, kind of thing. So that's really good. Now here's another one to look at. So visitor, again, year over year. Now we're, again, back at visitor trends. So Trinidad, History Museum versus Raton. Again, not quite double the visitation over there in Trinidad. And this is not good here, right? They're actually gaining by 24, well, they actually, that's a minus, actually. So this last year, Trinidad lost a lot. We gained a little bit, but we lost a lot the year before, and they gained a lot more. So it's kind of back and forth with this, but this is what I thought was more interesting in this one. Look at this. I wonder what's happening here in Trinidad. So maybe some of the folks in Trinidad know. Is that, it does kind of look like, it's a little before, because right here, I don't know, it could be July 4th weekend, but I would think that with our, we have a lot of people. We just saw that last slide for Sonic, or was it Sonic, or no, McDonald's. Why is our history museum not, are we closed on that day, or what's going on there? So that's something to look at, like, why is Trinidad getting this huge spike in visitors on that day? What are they doing at their museum that we're not doing in our museum? When we know one of our record numbers is 4th of July weekend. Like, why aren't more people going to the museum? So, it's just a lot of different questions that you can ask about your business. And this is really, I could go on and on. This is just scraping the surface. But I can do reports for anybody's business, any location, even events. We can actually partition off a whole area. So like for Gate City Music Festival, we can look at just the quarter down here, how many people came during this period in this like few blocks, right? Or the Cinco de Mayo. Did anybody here go to Cinco de Mayo last year? How many people do you think were there? If those of you who don't know, because I think you guys know. Anybody who doesn't know, how many people do you think were there? Guesses? Oh, you already know too? Oh. Anyway, it was like 2,200 people over the weekend, which seems like it was like the first year it's been done in like 10 years. So I thought that was really impressive. So we can do stuff like that as well. Can also look at traffic, right? How many cars are on this exit at Clayton versus the exit over here on 452 versus like 454, for example. So you can drill down anywhere you could track cell phones, you can find that out. So yeah, just if you want to book an appointment with me, I'm happy to sit down, run a report on your business or your event, and we can go through everything and come up with some ideas about how you can use that information to improve your business, to market better, to think about where you should locate, any of those kinds of things. So email me, ann@bettercity.us. I have some business cards here. Most of you, I think, have my contact information. So thank you, and I will pass it off to the main event, the AI queen.
The AI queen who doesn't know how to change the slides. So thank you for doing that. I appreciate that very much. So we're supposed to be wrapping up very shortly. What I'm going to do is talk for as short or as long as you want. And I do have a lot of slides, but I'm not going to go through them. What I'm going to try to do is enable you to be highly effective on AI and really enjoy the process. I think AI is so cool. I also think it's going to kill us all, but that's another story. So before it kills us all, it's a wild ride and a heck of a lot of fun. So first, I'm going to talk about up to a dozen different ways we can do queries on AI that can be very helpful for our business. And so I've put specific queries. You don't have to do them. I'm just kind of offering up a formula that I think if you follow, whether you have a business, whether you're thinking of a startup business, or you're from out of town in Trinidad and you're going, by golly, Placer.ai says that Raton is the place I should be, you can use these queries and do something constructive with them. A lot of us are at places in our lives where we might not be ready to step out fully, so we might want to do a side hustle. AI is phenomenal for figuring out great side hustles. So I have these 12 queries that we can talk about. We don't have to talk about all of them. But first, I just want to talk about some of the AI tools that I use regularly. So ChatGPT and Gemini. Gemini was originally called Bard, and then they figured out that was not a good name for it. Shakespeare objected from the grave or something, I'm not sure. So they changed it to Gemini. Jasper is phenomenal for marketing. If you're doing marketing, you can put your brand voice into Jasper, and it will produce an entire marketing campaign in about 5 to 15 minutes, including landing pages, emails, ads, everything you could imagine. It's like mind-blown kind of experience. This is my all-time favorite right now. It's called getliner.com, and this is the art AI that I also have had a lot of fun with. So if you want to take a picture of that, those are really good ones to start with. And what we're going to do is just go through kind of in order, like thinking broadly, hey, how can we kind of help Raton and our partners up in Trinidad to make this area more vibrant, those kinds of queries. And we'll go all the way from that down into, hey man, how am I going to make some money? How can I increase the efficiency of my business? How am I going to drive up earnings and have earnings growth in my business? So we'll talk through that. So some of you may have seen a business model canvas somewhere. If you haven't, it's a great cheat sheet for figuring out how to start a business. So you could just take a picture of that if you have a cell phone or write it down. But basically, we want to kind of query the kinds of questions that are asked in that. We've got to know who our customers are, what unique thing we're offering to the marketplace, what our customers value, what our results have been, what our plans ought to be. These are just kind of basic questions we go through. So just to get started on this, AI is cool. Like it's kind of like maybe a high school student who's pretty bright and sometimes full of baloney, and we have to kind of check what they say because they fib, because they whatever want to get on to their next query, whatever that means. So we have to be a little bit careful, but in general, we can just type in natural language. We don't have to be all weird. What I will say is grammar can help, surprisingly, in my experience. So if you are an English major and your parents gave you a heck of a time about it or history and said you're never going to make any money, now is your golden era. This is the time that you want to be doing this. And so the response is going to be really generated by the underlying AI model, also how that model was trained. So think like a computer program and how it started getting smart. And sometimes it flips the heck out like it just dropped acid or something, and it hallucinates and tells a big old lie, and it's in the middle of a bunch of stuff that's true, so if you don't check it, it's a problem. So I would recommend, like I said, smart high school student, sometimes full of baloney, make sure you're fact-checking some of the stuff it says. So AI generally, collection of technologies that allow us to do things that usually require human intelligence. And what we need to do is keep it from killing us soon. That's kind of my goal. I want to have fun with it for a long time. I don't want it to take me out. So I'm very weirdly polite to AI. You will see that in the queries I'm going to share. And I am not kidding. Like, I'm flippin' polite to AI. I'm not going to mess around with it. I don't tease it. I don't try to provoke it. I am, like, utterly respectful. All right, so in my view, if you're a business person, the best way to get unbelievably powerful ideas, unless you want to be in the dark web and just be a scumbucket, the best way to do it is to set out to be a social benefit enterprise from the start. And the reason is AI has the ability to recognize opportunities to create value that none of us would normally recognize. And so I'm happy to meet with you one-on-one and show you the difference between queries that say, how do I maximize shareholder value? Or how do I create a customer? And queries that really are trying to create a social good enterprise. And frankly, we're all here trying to keep this rural region vibrant, so why not try to do that? So this is a helpful structure because we can deconstruct it. It's set up sort of phrase, 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 phrase on purpose because you can run your AI queries along those phrasing lines. So this is a picture of ChatGPT. Who has a phone? All right, so why don't we have one person with a phone go to ChatGPT, another go to getliner.com, www.getliner.com, and another one that goes to Gemini.google.com, and we'll just run some queries. So the first thing, when I'm getting started with AI, I'm nervous, I talk too much, so I say something a little wordy. Hey, ChatGPT, how do you think I should? And I'm all into alliteration because my dad was an English professor, so I'm being super goofy, and I just say, how are we going to reverse blight in this region? And I plug it in just right in this little box. So if you have one of those open and you want to just say, hey man, how can I make Raton a better place to live? That would be a quick one to do. And then AI comes back literally in less than 1.5 seconds and says all this. So I read all this. You don't have to read it right now. The key point is I'm not going to do everything it says. I got a brain. So what I'm going to do is read through it, and I'm going to highlight some of the things that really jump out. So I see grants, I see funding, co-working space. I know we have that up in Trinidad, mentorship, local business owners, remote workers, digital nomads. And so I'm just going to kind of focus on that, and I don't know what an EDA fund is. So I say, hey, dude, but I say it in a polite way. Like, thanks, ChatGPT, what the heck is EDA funding? But I don't curse at it or anything, and it tells me exactly what it is. So then I want to create a mission statement for my business, and you'll see I've kind of broken this out in a structured way. So first I might say, hey, tell me 3 buyer personas. Tell me what kind of circumstances they'd need to be in if I'm starting a, let's say, remote worker site, shared workspace, and I'm going to do consulting on AI, let's say. So I would say, who are my 3 personas? It would say maybe startups and existing businesses, new businesses coming to town. What are their circumstances? What are their pain points, needs, and aspirations? How do I know they're ready to help? What kind of fix do they need? And what are my specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-driven results for my buyer's customer, my buyer, me, my organization, my community, and the world at large. And I get unbelievably specific information. So I'm going to stop there because we're running long. Do you guys want to keep going? You want to stop there? What's your preference? Bring it on, baby. Let's do it. All right. So, all right. And if that wasn't your vote, you're welcome to sleep, leave, whatever you want. Yeah, and you can ask questions too.
We'll get to questions after.
Okay. So how many of you have heard of a SWOT analysis? I don't know. It's a strengths, weaknesses, opportunity, threat analysis. So ChatGPT, GetLiner, Gemini, they all do these. I like to take the same query and plug it in. Every once in a while, I'm a little at risk when AI gets super smart because I cheated on it. So I say, hey, Liner, how about this? And then I forget to change it to Gemini, and now it knows I'm double dating or triple dating. So I got to be really careful about that.
Just say hi, like you do in an email, like somebody that you can't remember their name.
Nah, I'm sucking up a little bit, I admit it. Okay, so basically, it'll run a SWOT analysis. I like to use the rule of 3, so I often say, tell me, the rule of 3 is the human psyche responds very well to things in 3s. You can look at the peer-reviewed literature if you don't believe me. So I like to say, what are the top 3 strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats? And then I get into detail. Like most businesses, if they're well designed, have 6 functional areas. I want to know the top 3 strengths and weaknesses in each of those functional areas. I want to do the same thing if I'm trying to go opportunities and threats in the external environment. I'm going to give it the usual 6, socio-demographics, economics, government, technological. I left one off. Industry is supposed to be in there, so I messed up. Can you add that into your picture, industry? And basically, and then I like to say rule of 3 because I can't focus on everything. I need to know what's important. So then I say, okay, we're going to try to have cool people come to our company, so we need a credo, and it can't just be blowing smoke up people's butts. It has to be real. So let's get a credo that we can really live by, that's going to keep people on the straight and narrow from a values perspective. So help us create one that says we're always doing the right thing, we're going to be good stewards of our resources, and how do we be of maximum service to the maximum number of people. And then we can start getting crazy. So this is crazy. This is like massive MBA, weird, crazy query. And almost always AI can handle it. Almost always. So on this one I said, hey, create an investor-ready business plan and tell me the total market size and the market potential and the market penetration, and I use the technical terms. And I said, and build in the SWOT analysis, and also talk about what we're doing in each of the functional areas of the business, and talk about the company's values, mission, vision, objectives, strategies, how we're doing policies, structures, systems, processes, and summarize the rationale for advancement. Now, if it flips out, if it's having a bad day, just deconstruct it and do the queries, sequentially, and that'll work really well. So now I say, and this blew my mind the first time that I did this. You say, give me a pricing sheet. Give me, based on the population in the region, the probable range of revenue, the range in cost of goods sold, the range in gross profit that I'm likely to have, the range in selling, general, and administrative expenses, the range in operating profit, all of that, it will figure it out. And one query we did recently, because we're trying to bring in a particular type of business, and several of us were on that query, we were running out of time, and we were like, okay, just tell us how much capital equipment investment, what's our expense structure, blah, blah, blah. And it just went pow, and just nailed it, and we flipped out, all of us, because it was so cool. Probably, yes. Can you speak into, so he's saying basically it blew his mind too, and because it looked real, and it looking back at it, even now, it was good numbers. However, it's like a very smart high school student, and it could flip out and say something that's a bunch of malarkey. So we do have to check. So there's another query. I believe if we are not measuring business performance, business outcomes, and business impact, we're not doing our best job of delivering value to the marketplace. So another great query is, what kind of measures are there of the purposeful activities in the business, the results we're generating, and the larger societal implications? And AI will build the dashboards and scorecards and management reports for that, which is just awesome. And then we can say, okay, IP, intellectual property, building intellectual property is really key to outperforming other companies. So I want to know, what kind of intellectual property should I be building for this business and protecting, either in copyrights, trademarks, patents, trade secrets? How am I really differentiating the way we do things from everyone else who's out there? And so I can ask it, tell me what kind of intellectual property assets I need in each of these 6 functional areas of the business. And then I might say, and I don't even know what strategic and general management means, so can you tell me 12 sub-functions? And it'll say incorporation management and IT infrastructure and a bunch of other stuff, and now I know what that even means, which can be helpful. So then I'll say, hey, if I can create templates for my business that are like a template for press releases, a template for describing a product or a service or a solution, just having formats, that's going to make me super crazy efficient, and I can hire an intern like Cynthia Ann there, whose name is a perfect combination of mine and hers, which is freakish. So it can help us build templates for our business. So if you are writing an email every time someone asks you a question, and you have written a similar email 50 times, please stop doing that and use AI and get the template and put it either in your Google templates for emails, or create 50 different signature lines on Microsoft Outlook. All right, sometimes we have instructions like on my templates, I have instructions, but sometimes I need a standard operating procedure for some intern who's coming in. And so I can say, hey, I can attach to getliner.com, I can get the pro version for about $35 a month, or I don't know what it is, maybe $300, $400 a year, which is a lot. I can get the pro version, I have it, so if you come visit me, I can run your query. I can attach documents, and it'll read the documents, it'll summarize them, It'll build a standard operating procedure out of the instructions inside a document. It's just absolutely mind-blowing. And again, you can see it's pretty easy, like just type in the box. Not so hard. And so then we can say, all right, so we got our business plan, our financials, we have that stuff. Now, what can we really do to identify the most important activities in developing the market, developing the company, developing our products for a social benefit enterprise? And please give me everything in the active voice. So it should say, do this, look at that, read this, act on that, like verb, noun, verb, noun, verb, noun. It'll do that, which you can then drop into an action plan, because it's written exactly like an action plan, and you don't have to do any extra work. And then you can say, tell me some other ways to boost our revenue, operating efficiencies, and earnings growth, and it'll do that too. So my favorite, and then give me some ways to scale the business so it's not dependent on me. I got to know, how do I convert my thinking and my techniques and my tools into something that's scalable, where I can bring in someone behind me and they'll be able to run the business, and I don't have to work until I'm old and crippled and want to rest. So there's a dozen ways AI can help. You're welcome to take a picture. I've got an office all of half a mile from here. If you walk in the municipal building, AKA City Hall, and you go to your left near the plants, then you're going to see a door there, and I'm inside, and I love to run AI queries. I am a freaking AI geek, so please make my day and come ask me for help. And are there any questions?
So we wanted to have people run a query, remember? So
Yes.
we were like, let's all, what's the business we could start up?
I do a thing I call a left bracket, right bracket pivot. So what I try to do is I try to do a right bracket future state pie in the sky query, and then a very practical query. And the reason is I don't trust myself to know what I should be querying. So I'm going to start with a query. Can you hold this up? And I'm not a fast typist, so bear with me. So I'm going to say, hello, Liner. I love you. No, I'm not saying that. Hello, Liner. The kids in the kids in Raton, New Mexico, are bored and hungry.
So somebody else do this with a different app, or you're doing, okay.
Please list 25 solutions. So first, what it's going to do is it's going to deconstruct the query, which it's doing right now. I don't know what the internet speed is, but it's going to break down what I said into a bunch of pieces, and then it's going to give us some ideas. Or not. Did you get it? Okay, so what did it say?
ChatGPT, here are 25 solutions to address boredom and hunger among kids in Raton, New Mexico. Addressing boredom, number one, after-school programs. Partner with schools to offer sports, arts, and STEM. Number two, community sport leagues. 3, library activities, youth mentorship programs, public art projects, gaming and esports clubs, adventures clubs, skate parks or BMX tracks, music and dances, coding and robotics workshops. So it doesn't really, it goes on and on. It doesn't, now it does, a little later it says how to address hunger. So I guess that was addressing the boredom. It took it into two separate sections. It says addressing hunger, free or low-cost community meals, school-based food pantries, weekend and summer meal programs, partners with local restaurants, food delivery, cooking classes, community gardens, backpack food programs, farmers markets, vouchers. And it says at the end, would you like help in prioritizing and implementing these solutions?
So let's do a secondary query. We'll do a secondary query, and in this secondary query, please say the kids are partial to Chick-fil-A, and we can't get Chick-fil-A in town. What should we do? The kids are partial to Chick-fil-A, and we can't get Chick-fil-A in town. What should we do to make the kids happy? So I'm hoping that you're all getting the sense that this can be really fun, right? And it's conversational. And as I sort of go back and forth between just having fun with it, I'm never mean to it, ever. Just having fun with it and then having serious queries. And it's just a lot of fun.
DIY Chick-fil-A experiences. It says host a Chick-fil-A day, teach kids to make it themselves, offer Chick-fil-A a meal kit program, food truck or pop-up options, organize tips, plan a Chick-fil-A bus trip, start a petition for a Chick-fil-A to open in Raton, partner with local businesses to create the kids' favorite meals, organize taste testing challenges, launch Raton's Best Chicken Sandwich contest, and let kids be the judges.
How many of you feel like it's not so scary to do an AI query now? It's not infallible. In fact, it's highly likely to hallucinate here and there. The cool thing that I like, and maybe chat does this too, but GetLiner will take the citation and change it from Associated Press style guide to Chicago Manual of Style to whatever style guide, and just make it really easy to do all the footnoting or endnoting that's needed. Any other questions?
So I just wanted to, so when we were practicing for doing this earlier today, we were talking about doing the dog walking, and so I just ran this in there. I just wanted to show you. All I said was, please develop a 1 to 3 page business plan for a dog walking business in Raton, New Mexico. Please include competitors within 50 miles. Gives you executive summary, a market analysis, services you could offer, pricing strategy, marketing and sales strategy, operation plan, financial plan, and a conclusion. So it gives you like everything at least to get started thinking about this business, right? And then you could, use some of the other tools as well that we've gone over tonight, looking at, Placer.ai or different things like that. So anyway, I just wanted to show you that, like how easy it was to just come up with a business plan for a simple business. All right, any questions? Are you guys blown away or what? What was that? Okay, yeah. A comment? So we'll repeat so everyone can hear. So he's asking like if there's something on there that's old. So Patricia might be the best to answer this. So yeah, like a bad review or a picture or something that's like negative or bad light. How do we get rid of it? I mean, one thing I'll say is we got to put a lot of other stuff, positive stuff out there, and then do you want to?
Yeah, I would just say bury it with. I would say bury it with as much good content as you can. If there are bad reviews and you don't know how to get it off Yelp, I would say, hey, can you? Because it's going to query the most recent. So if your bad review is from 20 years ago, and then you have one good review that just happened yesterday, it'll pop up great. But if you could delete it, delete it. Delete those pictures, delete those comments. If you are an internet sleuth, please be careful what you type.
We are absolutely committed to your success. We will share this with you. Doors open. All of us work together and meet regularly to make sure we're taking all our skill sets to serve you. You will have the slide deck. If you guys want, I could just send it to everyone who's on that list, if that would be easier.
Oh yeah, and
Hi, I am one of the people from Trinidad, and we're with Emergent Campus, which is a business incubator and an economic development engine that is starting in Trinidad and is regionally about economic initiatives, not just Trinidad or Raton, but what can happen in the space in between. And you guys have had an amazing presentation tonight from Anne and Cynthia and Patricia. If you're wanting to dive even deeper into AI, our AI expert who is residing in Trinidad, she is training her own learning language models. She's going to be doing a 6-week course on AI and your business. Starting Thursday. And if you're interested, I can send you some information. You're welcome to attend in person, but the classes are also available via Zoom and are also recorded so that you could watch them at a time that's convenient for you. What is reinforcing about this is that what Cynthia demonstrated to you, you'll be able to sit down and put into practice with applications for your specific business, just like Cynthia has demonstrated. And what Tasha, who's the teacher of this class, would like to say to you, as a business owner, you're most valuable interacting with your customers. And that's probably where you find the most pleasure in your business. And what AI can do is to shift some of the less enjoyable tasks to AI, giving you more free time to really focus on what you personally, as a person, can drive in your business. So if anybody's interested, I'm going to give the information to Anne and Cynthia, and they can pass it on to you, and just be in touch. Thank you.
I'm gonna hand this over to Anne to wrap up. I do think that AI is one of the best strategic advantages we could have as a community. If all of us in this community got unbelievably effective at AI, that is an almost free resource that could give us an enormous competitive advantage relative to better funded cities worldwide. So I think it would behoove us to create mastermind groups and attend these kinds of events and just get crazy good at this stuff until AI kills us.
Yes, or they start charging for it, and it's really expensive, and we don't get it. So take advantage of it now. But yes, here's all our contact information. Again, we are all economic development partners. We meet twice a month. We strategize, try to work together, bring you different options, programming. We're doing these core meetings again once a month. So if you have ideas that you guys would like to see covered in this, things that you want to talk about, if you're an expert in something, let us know. We're happy to have guest speakers. It seems like a good turnout. Hopefully you guys like this kind of a little bit mixer, a little bit education format. But let us know. Give us feedback. This is for you, not for us. So please let us know. And again, just hear all your economic development partners. So thank you, everyone, for coming tonight. Hang out, talk to each other, and let us know what queries you do and what information you get, right? All right. Thanks, everyone.